Over time, we've seen a lot of different characters in the DC Extended Universe. And of course, this is all thanks to the creativity originally penned in those comic books to then ultimately making its way over onto the big screen. So the real question here is, what characters make it into our top 10 list, and in particular, that number 1 spot? Well, without further ado, here are the top 10 DCEU costumes. Number 10. Bloodsport. Bloodsport wasn't known for most DC movie fans until last year's The Suicide Squad, where he was brought to life by Idris Elba. Initially coming off across as a mere replacement for Will Smith's Deadshot, Bloodsport is quickly distinguished from Deadshot by Elba's killer performance and a costume that's unlike anything we've seen from a militaristic character from DC. The suit looks straight out of the comics and features an array of technology that would make any supervillain jealous. You've got nanotech, a retractable skull helmet, collapsible weapons from the wrist, and detachable pieces of armor that turn into weapons. I mean, come on, it's a truly badass piece of clothing in the DCEU. Number 9. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's costume was always going to be hard to nail down, a tightrope act of balancing grace, allure, and edge. And if someone was going to get it correct, you know it was going to be Zack Snyder. Her debut in the Batman v Superman is one of the film's stronger aspects, as it succinctly introduces a golden age pop culture icon to the modern age. The costume captures the spirit of the character's legacy while propelling it to the live action tangibility. With the exception of a couple of color changes, her main costume throughout her DCEU appearances remains mostly unchanged. And if that isn't a testament to how good her costume is, then we just don't know what is. Number 8. Peacemaker. Sometimes a costume is so goofy that you have to applaud the filmmakers for just batting for it. And the Suicide Squad's Peacemaker represents all that is goofy and delightful with the DC Extended Universe. If you look at the comics, you'll see that Peacemaker's costume is a piece-by-piece recreation, so faithful that it's almost like cosplay that foregoes practicality over fidelity. Yet it works incredibly thanks to John Cena's unironic conviction in wearing it literally everywhere behind and in front of the camera, and also we can't forget director James Gunn's grasp on the character and tone. It never feels too grounded, yet it's never too goofy. Even down to his ridiculous array of specialized helmets, the DCEU version of Peacemaker has this down. Now that's commitment to faithfulness. Number 7. Black Manta. There's something about Black Manta's DCEU look that makes it so much more striking than the already striking look he has in the comics. It could be the sheer audacity of James Wan giving audiences a supervillain with an oversized helmet or its glowing red eyes, or it could be the towering physique of Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Whatever the reason is, it sure makes Black Manta one of the best looking superhero villains to date. His heavy sci-fi underwater armor is a treat to look at despite being monochromatic. The Aquaman sequel sees the return of Black Manta, albeit in a suit that doesn't look quite as good as the one in the first film, but I'll let you also be the judge of that as well. Number 6. The JSA. While we have yet to see the full glory of the Justice Society of America in this year's Black Adam, we did get to see a glimpse of them in a sizzle reel from DC earlier this year. The sizzle reel showcased brief glances at Hawkman, Cyclone, Atom Smasher, and Dr. Fate, and just from only a few seconds, so it's safe to say that they look incredible. Hawkman doesn't quite have his iconic shirtless sash outfit, but nonetheless has his glorious helmet and wings. Dr. Fate's costume is a sleek yet simple imagining of the comic suit. Atom Smasher looks ripped out of a Charlton comic, while Cyclone's costume is a modernized version of the comic suit. Number 5. Aquaman. So much of Aquaman in the DCEU is carried by Jason Momoa's presence and gravitas. Ever brooding, hulking, giant with a big heart, Momoa elevates the character to a level unseen by general audiences. The glimpse we see of him in Batman v Superman showcases a more tribal and primal look for the character, while the Justice League version offers an armored, regal look. But the classic costume in Aquaman is definitely where it's at. James Wan's attention to detail is immaculate, as Aquaman's suit is so intricately designed down to its minutiae. The costume also doesn't shy away from the iconic orange and green colors. It's supposed to be goofy, but Momoa just makes it work from top to bottom. Number 4. The Flash. Zack Snyder's take on the iconic Flash costume isn't quite as faithful as some of the choices on this list. But what makes it great is its handmade utilitarian look, a trait that isn't necessarily visually associated with Flash costumes of the past. It's heavily armored and has a lot of intricate details, but still goes as far to retain the lightning bolt ears. Crafted out of state-of-the-art space technology, the Snyderverse costume is also a showcase of Barry Allen's intelligence and skill as the character. The upcoming Flash movie is set to feature more costumes, one of which a more faithful classic version of the suit. Nonetheless, Snyder's Flash costumes stand out as one of the DCEU's finest. Number 3. Batman. With so many live-action versions to his name, it's almost hard to settle on which is best for the live-action Batman costume. But for this list, we're gonna have to give it to Zack Snyder's faithful recreation of the Frank Miller Batman costume. Breaking the streak of Nolan's utilitarian, militaristic take on the Batsuit, Snyder discards all the visual bells and whistles to create a costume that's simple yet robust. All the nifty features of Snyder's Batsuit are hidden underneath the suit's modest design. This allows its visual iconography to speak for itself. And of course, the suit is even made better by Snyder's visual homages to Miller's comic panels. Number 2. Shazam in the Marvel family. A Shazam movie would have never been accepted by mass audiences a decade or two ago, and part of that hurdle, alongside its fantastical premise, is its costumes. The Shazam and the Marvel family costumes are so much a product of the 1940s that it's a near impossible feat that the Shazam movie pulled it all off. The film unapologetically brings to life not just Billy Batson's costume, but all the costumes in the entire Marvel family. From the brightly colored costumes to the quarter-length cape down to the delightful gold boosts. The movie even showcases Mary Marvel in her iconic skirt. Now, before we head over to number 1, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell because we're always making these top 10s and you don't want to miss the next one. Number 1. Harley Quinn. The DCEU's Harley Quinn isn't simply the most stylish character in her universe. She might be the best dressed character in all of modern superhero films, boasting a rotating closet of distinctly unique outfits. You have the sex doll look from David Ayer's Suicide Squad, the pop art punk rock outfits from Birds of Prey as well, and James Gunn recreated Harley Quinn's Injustice 2 outfit while also giving her a glamorous Riot Girl look for the film's finale. Her outfits are so popular and accessible among fans that it is no surprise that she is one of the most cosplayed characters in the world. And there you have it, folks. That is Murphy's Multiverse's top 10 DCEU costumes. Now, your personal list may line up with ours, but if it doesn't, let us know in the comment section below what you would change. Also, before we go, once again, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I want to thank you for watching this top 10 video, and we will see you in the next one.